So I am sitting here with this guy over here, or maybe he's this way. Who knows how it works in the computer world? But this is Thiago Aso, also known as Aso. So those of you that don't know who he is, he fights for Gracie Barra, as you can probably see for his shirt from his shirt there. He was the purple belt no-gi world champ. I know he has multiple fight to win victories. I think you got. Did you get best submission of the night when it was here in Phoenix? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So and it was a flying armbar, right?
Yeah.
All right. So flying armbar. Something else to know about Azo. He is also my coach. And so obviously I have rolled with him many, many times. And a couple of things to know about rolling with Azo. The first is when he's on top of you, imagine a dump truck backed up onto your chest, and then it just moves around freely, just doing basically whatever it wants while it's sitting on your chest. That's what it's like. And then the other thing to know about rolling with Azo is if he ever gets a hold of your foot, what you're going to feel is you're going to feel that your shin is going to blow out of the top of your leg while your calf muscle is also getting crushed and might blow out of the sides. And the extraordinary part is that for the next 2 or 3 days, it hurts to walk. So those are some fun facts about rolling. So Oz, going, man.
I'm sorry, man.
It's all good. It's good preparation for the future, right?
Hey, thanks for having me here, man.
Yeah, happy to do it. And actually, Ozzo and I rolled this morning, and not surprisingly, Ozzo beat me up this morning as well. Although he did let me get him in a couple of bad positions so that he could practice his escape. So I do appreciate it when you do that.
No, man, it's not like that, brother. You catch me every time that you hook.
Well, it's the only chance I have for sure.
No, not like that.
I talked a little bit about your game, right? And I know you have a ton of top pressure, you have great footlocks, and you have tons of energy. From your perspective, what are some of the things that kind of stand out about your jiu-jitsu game?
I would say, man, that is the way that I think I keep my balance on top. Because, for example, I didn't try on the competition still yet because I didn't have a chance. But in the comp class and here and I took with the students, I've been trying to play with my hands on the bottom while I keep kind of waving and bouncing my legs. So this gives my extra view, a big picture of what's going on around. When somebody tries to attack an X guard, single X, something like that, I can use my hands on the bottom, use my hip to twist very well and kick my leg up. In Brazil, we call this open the leg. I don't know why you call like that, but when you kick a leg way backwards. So I been try to play like that, and I think that's the outstanding part of my game for now.
Yeah, absolutely. I would also say nonstop energy. So I don't know if it's the 17 bangs drink a day, but again, he's on top of you. Not only is he like incredible pressure, but he's constantly moving back and forth and getting into better positions. So it's definitely a lot to try to manage having you on top of you. So let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about, when you were little Azo, which I know you're fairly young, so it wasn't that long ago, right? But when you were little Azo, how did you get into jiu-jitsu?
Well, how long can I answer this? Because, man, if I can't, I keep going.
Dude, I have a huge hard drive, so as long as you have, go for it.
All right. So, well, I grew up, man, a really chubby kid, and as you see, I drink a lot of bangs, but basically it's not because of the caffeine. It's really because I really like the taste of it. Soda is terrible for your body, and bang, of course, but I really like to keep drinking it. It feels so great. Like when I have dinner or lunch, I have a bang, man. I'm sorry, but I have a bang. And I used to be that kid, I never actually had money to pay a gym, to pay a jiu-jitsu school, whatever. So was basically the desire of doing jiu-jitsu. In Brazil, pretty much everybody knows what jiu-jitsu is, how it looks like. Behind the big picture of a tournament, everybody knows how it's going to be in the class, how it's going to be in the tournament. My dad used to have a lot of so many magazines of Gracie magazine. Have you heard of Gracie magazine? So yeah, so I used to be really interesting into jiu-jitsu by the time until today, of course. And I never had money to pay, so basically I was just wishing to have it. But when I was 13 to 14 years old in 2012, I was I was overweight, way overweight. I was maybe 200 pounds, and I was, that's so bad, man. I'm a short guy,
And you're like 5'8", 5'9", right? Somewhere in there as far as height goes.
brother. Now I am 5'6", 5'7".
All right, so even shorter. All right, so 5'7" and 200 pounds. So that's a big dude.
Big man. I was really big, and when I went to the doctor, he gave me the prescription about my body, not prescription, the resume of what's going on with my blood pressure, whatever. Uh, and I need to start something really soon because I was getting really obesity. I don't know if the right word to say, but I was getting overweight. I would have diabetes if I didn't change, if I would not change my life. So my aunt, who lives in Japan, she would have money enough to pay. It was just $60, man, $50, something like that. Reais in dollars would be like $10, but I didn't have. So when I started, man, it was a dream coming through for real. I already knew what I wanted when my first day in jiu-jitsu. I remember the first day, first class, my first conversation with professor. I remember it all, man, and that's how I started jiu-jitsu.
Nice. And so, you kind of mentioned it as you were talking. You did grow up in Brazil. When did you come over to the U.S.?
So the first time I came to US was in 2017. And brother, that was so cool. Was so cool. Everything in US was so amazing, brother. That amazed me, like going to the gas station. I got to the gas station with a camera, filming every single product I would see, like let's say a water bottle. I would reckon like this, a water bottle in American, it costs $2, you know. And it was like that in 2017. That's how the first time I came, and that was one of the best days of my life. Best week.
And if I remember the story right, so you were fighting at Pans or Kid Pans or something like that, and then Professor went and got you and said, "Hey, you're staying with me," and he brought you to Arizona. Is that right, or did you go back to Brazil and then come back again?
Yeah, so in 2017, I came for the very first time. I spent maybe 9 days with Professor Márcio Feitosa. Do you know him?
I mean, I know the name, but I've never met him.
Yeah, he's a legend, man. You would like to meet him. He's a really nice guy. But yeah, so we used to be really, really close friends. And because he used to go to Teresópolis, his brother used to be my Professor CJ, who is my friend here. We used to be teammates. So Professor Márcio would be with us pretty much every week, teaching us comp class and hanging out. So I spent this week with him, but I couldn't stay. So I went back to Brazil after 9 days here in the US. Came back in 2019. Bunch of things happened there back in 2018, man. A lot are art with the people that came with me. It was not my fault. I don't know, maybe. And yeah, Professor Luis made a plan to somehow in 24 hours. He knew I was there. I was by myself. I needed help. He just came and man, Professor Luis so crazy. He just said, "You Aso?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "All right. So if you're going to Arizona, you have to go in 2 hours. So in 2 hours, I have to decide my whole life. I had to call my grandma and say, you're waiting for me, but I don't know if I'm gonna come back." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, what are you gonna do? You have a visa, you have to worry about your visa, money." I didn't have nothing. So basically 2018 was so crazy. My life just looked like a movie, brother. So crazy.
Yeah, no, that's I know when Professor tells that story, it's awesome. He essentially kidnapped you from California and brought you to Arizona, and then
He did. It was pretty crazy, brother. And I don't know if you knew that, but after 1 week, he left me his house with Coach Josie, and he went to Vegas. And they barely knew me, and it was a shot in the dark, man. It was a shot in the dark,
for sure.
basically.
So when you came to the US, was there anything that was, like weird, or you were like, I don't know, this seems like really different than, kind of how you grew up?
Yeah, a lot. I would say in a good ways and a bad ways. Uh, okay, so the first is the food. I feel it's, of course, it's my view, is the people where if I live, my roommates, looks like Americans just snack the entire day. You guys snack, snack, snack. And in Brazil, if you are a regular Brazilian, let's say medium class or poor class, we basically eat the same thing every single day. Rice and beans is some protein.
Mhm.
These, twice a day, and in the morning we eat pretty much French toast with, we call, it's just like a Brazilian Kool-Aid. This coffee, milk, and a lot of sugar. So it's basically this, but this of sugar. And and here in the US, everybody eats every time just sandwich, sandwich, sandwich. And of course, one thing that changed in my life is the way that I see freedom now.
Yeah.
It's totally different, sir. Totally different. Real quick, I realized what freedom was when I went to the Walmart, and I saw a couple walking by me with wear pajamas, and I was like, "What the heck? Why are you guys wearing this right now, right here? Is that a joke?" And I realized that I have nothing to do with their life. I have nothing to do with their freedom. And then I realized that that's the freedom, you know.
Yeah. If you feel like
And
pajamas to Walmart, go for it, right?
go for it. It's your life. It's your freedom. Do whatever you want to do with it. And I become another person since I came to America, just because of the little details, brother.
Yeah. You've been here for a little over 2 years, right?
Yes, 2 years and a half now, and it's been amazing.
And so since then, I know you've been coaching at the school, obviously, and you've competed a bunch. Are there any kind of jujitsu moments that stand out for you as, something that's, really interesting or really cool, something like that you want to tell everybody?
Uh, yeah, man. I would say that since I started working in being a professional coach here in the Gracie Barra, because I always coach my whole life, but wasn't uh, with this sense of responsibility. You know, whatever I say, gonna is going to be sounding for a long period, right? If I say to the kid that a kid has to behave like that, the kid gonna start behaving like that for a long time until the kid realize that it is their own mindset. So jiu-jitsu, man, what I realized being more as a coach, not as an athlete, it's how you can having fun. You can have fun training jiu-jitsu. It's not like I used to have jiu-jitsu in my life just as a competition. And to be honest, Eric, sometimes you just feel a lot of pressure. You have to do it. And when I realized that I can have this freedom to do jiu-jitsu just for fun, brother, it's totally different. I tell all the students now, like sometimes they're struggling because they're getting beat or they're not seeing the positions the way that they would like to see it. And I keep telling them, like, chillax. It's gonna come somehow. Chillax. And that's what I realized, that jiu-jitsu is really cool to be seen this way. In the way that you are free to roll and not being thinking of beat people or getting beat. People don't realize that. That's one reason I feel people in jiu-jitsu quit on the blue belt. They put a lot of pressure on themselves.
Yeah. And I mean, the good part is, right, is as you say all the time, there isn't like a perfect way to do it. It depends on your body, the other guy's body. And so as long as it works, right, that's the right way to do it, especially for you.
Exactly. It's totally depends on you. For example, Andy, online class for her doesn't work at all. The other day, man, I'm not even kidding, she worked crying. But for some people, for example, like Alexi Mackenzie, they really enjoy the live training. They really enjoy that.
Yeah. And so for those of you that don't know, Andy, that Aso just mentioned, so she is 14. And for the last 2 years, she won the Pan Kids Championship at her weight class. And part of the reason she does that is because she doesn't actually roll with kids. So she rolls with me. She rolls with grown men. And most of the time she gets the better of us, unfortunately.
Most of the time, you have to worry about your face.
Yeah.
But
Hey, every night he catch like a flying elbow or a flying knee or something. But yeah, she's amazing. So I know, like, again, I mentioned earlier that, you're the purple belt no gi champ. You've been in Fight to Win a bunch of times. You've done Third Coast grappling, all of that stuff. Was there ever a moment in your mind where you were kind of like, I can really like do jujitsu, or I can like, I'm really good at this. Like I could make this a career. I could do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, like I told you, brother, in Brazil, everybody knows jiu-jitsu, right? It's basically like a national sport. So when I started jiu-jitsu, I already had the desire of being a jiu-jitsu professor. To be honest, when I started jiu-jitsu, I never thought of being a jiu-jitsu competitor. But my, brother, I love it so much going to the gym. I love it so much. I just feel like, man, I'm gonna live. I'm gonna live through jiu-jitsu. My life gonna be basically jiu-jitsu. That's all. This was my first day, and I always feel like, man, you know what? I'm gonna be complete in every single part of jiu-jitsu. Was never something like, I might compete. With 3 months of jiu-jitsu, I threw myself in a tournament, and brother, I felt so alive because I went from a chubby kid, not being bullied at all. I mean, not at all, but not suffering because of that, but I was not capable to do some action, any action. And when I actually started doing jiu-jitsu and felt that I could actually do some action in my life, even being chubby or whatever, man, that was so great. I started being way better, happier. And yeah, I started just like that. I went to the tournament. I thought I won, but if I really believe that if I would lose, I would have the same passion like always. But for me, it's different. Like I told you, everybody knows jiu-jitsu in Brazil. Everybody talks about it, and you watch on the TV sometimes, and that's it. When I started, I really, really wanted to do this for my life. So basically, my first day as a white belt was my first day in my journey as a professor. Was just like a college for me, and that's how I see it until today. You know.
And I know that you're still on that journey. You're a brown belt, and I think you're going to get your black belt soon. What are some of the biggest lessons that you've kind of learned along the way?
Uh, a lot. Well, I would say, brother, is the I don't know the word in English, but I would say it's the sense of understanding people's life. What I mean with it's like I used to be just an athlete, not coaching at all. I didn't have this mindset of helping people as a coach, just as an athlete. So now I would say I would say that being being there, well, being there as an athlete, I didn't learn at all anything that jiu-jitsu could provide to me. To be honest, I was just a guy trying to be a bunch of people with this mindset. Trying, I said, not being actually successful there. But as a coach, Eric is so crazy, man. And when I step on the mat with these little kids, and every word that comes out of my mouth makes sense or doesn't make sense for them, but yet they have to think about that and make me repeat every single word that I'm gonna tell the kids. So the biggest lesson I learned is to pay a lot of attention and show people why I'm so in love with jiu-jitsu. Show people to find their own love. Because if I tell, of course, for you it's pretty easy. You are a super competitive person, but some people don't like to compete, and I had to learn how to guide this person through the patience and and love through jiu-jitsu, not just with competition and blah double leg splashing. How to teach these people how to love jiu-jitsu in the way that I love, but in the way that I love.
Yeah, I mean, I think once you kind of get hooked, it's stuck in you. It's just finding the right path to lead those people to the love and everything that we've kind of found in it. Whether it is small little kids, like my daughter started when she was 3, and I know part of the reason she loves it is just hanging out with you and listening to you. For me, I guess I'm weird, but I kind of like getting beat up by you too. But right, it's two different paths, but it's all once you understand like how to help people find their passion and their love, yeah, it can be really impactful for sure.
Oh yeah, brother. I have a friend. He used to be I think he used to work with stocks, and he used to be really stressful, really stressful in Brazil. And he went through a lot. So he would go to the gym and literally say, "Man, I need to get big," and he would lie down and say, "Get the mount and do whatever." That he would get there for maybe 60 minutes, 30 minutes, getting beat, people smashing his face. He would stand up, shake hands, say, "Man, thank you very much." Go home. That's what he would do. Just the sense of being there, being being beat and having your body gonna get crashed, of course, but having your soul, have your mind healed through it. You know, that's the whole point of jiu-jitsu, I think.
It's such a stress relief because I have, lots of other stuff that I do in my life. And I know that for that hour and a half or 2 hours, whatever it is, when I'm rolling, I literally think about nothing else. And even if somebody is smashing my face or, doing whatever, it's just like a weight is lifted off my shoulders. And that's one of the best parts, definitely.
It's just amazing. I have my knee blowing and I still can't stop training. Today I sparred with you guys and I was like, geez, my knee gonna hurt so bad. And it is hurting, man. Now it's hurting a lot, but I felt so great doing that with you guys. And that's the thing that I try to bring people to understand. Not about beat, it's about being here.
Yeah, whether you compete or not, it's just about getting on the mats. It's definitely great for you.
So different, man. So different. People change so much through it.
For sure. Are there any people in jiu-jitsu that you kind of look up to?
Yeah, man. Not just in jiu-jitsu, but in a whole experience. But in jiu-jitsu, I would say for sure Professor Flavio Almeida. Brother, he's so great, man. I appreciate the guy because um, I like to see people through the best of each person. But from Professor, I take from him the athlete side, man. He's not an athlete anymore. He's a businessman now, a professor. He's really busy, but he still trains more than most of us. You know, we have this whoop here, and Professor still beating us on the whoop. He
Yeah.
would, when I wake up, Professor already did one spar session. When we go to lift, Professor already did lift and already did the spar session. When you're going to rest, Professor already rested. He already did rest, and he's going to the next session, something like that. So basically, I try to follow up with him, to catch up with him. And as jiu-jitsu, not just a great spar and a coach sense, I would say as jiu-jitsu at all, one of my favorite guys that I try to imitate a lot is, do you know Ronaldo Jr., huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a really good old friend of mine. And he's just like Andy, man. The way that I see Andy is just like Ronaldo. They are people who doesn't matter what you tell them to do, they just want to go on the mat and do their job. They love. If you tell you're gonna just do hip skates for 60 minutes, they're gonna do really nice. They're gonna enjoy doing this. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's the guy when I see him, I feel like, man, Ronaldo would enjoy doing this. Ronaldo would not be lazy. Ronaldo, so I keep these two people in my mind and I keep trying to catch up with them. Ronaldo and Professor Flavio.
As you're starting to kind of formulate your game, is there anybody's game that you try to, duplicate or implicate or kind of say, I want to roll like him?
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Uh, so yeah, so as you know, we grew up together. Bunch of people like Professor CJ, Coach Zuza, Ronaldo is one of used to be our training teammates, and I try to be just like Professor CJ and Ronaldo. And besides my teammates, do you know the Paulo and João Miau,
Yeah.
the brothers? Brother, they are so sick. They are so crazy. I used to go to the gym. I kind of try to incorporate them. I try to incorporate myself into their personality. I would say, for example, I would watch a lot of the Miao brothers interviews, documentaries, or whatever they're doing. I would try, example, my pants. I tie like this, pulling super up, just because of the Paulo man. He has the pants so short. So I used to try to imitate just as he does. So for example, I was chubby, I wasn't flexible, I still not, but I was literally getting to school and trying to play guard just as Paulo Miao. just super flexible. Was terrible, brother. That was super terrible. But I kept doing, and if I was on top, I would try to do like Ronaldo, peer pressure. So these people, this circle, small group of people that I look up since I started jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can tell you that it's almost impossible to pass your guard unless you like, so you can get into a bad spot. It's definitely working for sure.
Brother, that's a great tool for people. I tell, like, for example, Andy, pick a person that you like and literally imitate that person during one training session. Behave the way they do grappler stance, behave the way they do takedowns. You're gonna see how much better you're gonna improve. You don't have to do exactly like this person, you just have to try to imitate a little bit to catch the best of that person.
Yeah,
absolutely. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. And, we've kind of been talking about your jujitsu training a little bit. Let's talk about kind of your training overall, because obviously as people can see, you're a pretty buff dude. So how often do you train jujitsu? And then how often do you do like strength and conditioning kind of work?
That's a great question. Well, so Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, we do our conf class, right, in Arcadia. So we get there 11. So my routine is I wake up like 8. I wake up, I read until 9. So 9 to 10, I get my breakfast, I chill, get ready. 10 o'clock, I get off. I go to training. When I get there, it's 11 to 1 p.m. Spar, and we do a lot of conditioning there. Not conditioning like sprouts that we do a lot of like shadow wrestling, judo grips. We do a lot of drills, but like drills taking each other down 100 times, really strong, real takedowns, a lot of drills on guard pass and stuff. And we spar a lot. So I basically get off there. I already eat something right on the way or in my car, and I go lift. So I get at home like 250, get home like 250. I lift real quick. 3:30, I get in the school, and that's it. And at night, I like to go for a walk, or sometimes I run. Or if I didn't lift between this break, I lift again. I lift at night, and that's it. So basically, it's 2 jiu-jitsu sessions per day, Monday, Wednesday. Friday, just do 1, and I lift conditioning. Sometimes I swim. And Tuesday and Thursday, I train at noon and at night with you guys, and Saturday as well. And man, I have my coach to show you. She's a girl. I don't think we spoke before that. Her name is Ana Lu, and she's the coach. I saw your podcast with Jake, and you guys were talking about it, and I was like, man, I have to send this to Jake. She's the type of girl. Of course, she's her style. I respect and I like, so that's what I follow her. She doesn't like to lift a lot because she doesn't think that's good for you. So I do my conditioning with her. So what kind of conditioning is really great? It's like most of the times it's body weight. And Eric's so great, man. At the same time you work so hard, you stretching, relaxing, and she makes you use muscles that you never thought you had. Like muscles on the throat. I'm just kidding, not on the throat, but like this little muscle that you think like that's not gonna work. And when you see it, brother, it's so great. I feel the core back. She's such a smart coach. So that's what I try to do. I follow the training session with her and jiu-jitsu.
And is she doing like yoga or Pilates, or is it more just like stretching and like body weight, like squats and that kind of thing?
It's like a functional training.
Okay.
But super help. She tries to make sure that you're never gonna get hurt. Never gonna get hurt on your knees, back, neck, shoulder. She tries to make sure that you can do really explosive movements, but at the most care, at the most care ever as possible. So, for example, you're gonna do a sprawl, but the sprawl that you do, she's gonna find a way to combine the sprawl, the burpee, with some stretch on the leg, and she's gonna try to find a way to make you work on your core, and at the same time you work on your stability, your mobility. I don't know how to explain it well, but she's just like that. One day she made me hold a ball, a plastic ball, I was like, Anna, give me, I don't know, 10 kilograms. Give me something. She gave me a plastic ball, literally a plastic ball to hold like this and had squat.
After a while,
You know,
you get heavy, your arms start to shake and
exactly. And I was like, this is never gonna work for me. And I'm a big dude. Give me some pounds. And she was like, wait. And you know, that's why I trust her so much, because she's not just a coach, she competes a lot too. And she studies a lot. So that's I trust for me. That's what the training basically do. It's like a functional but really, really healthy. It's a little CrossFit,
okay.
but healthier.
That makes sense. All right. So when you're getting ready for like a big fight, whether it's like Fight to Win or Third Coast or even like a tournament like World, something like that, what does your training look like then?
Uh Not different, to be honest. Well, I was getting ready for the pen irons before getting hurt, and to be honest, the only thing I was doing differently is I was sparring more. For example, on the regular days, we spar straight, right? We do rounds after rounds, and we do like 5 6 minutes round, right? On the comp class, when we are about to compete, Eric, we do like 8 minutes round. We rest maybe 5 to 8 minutes, just like a tournament, and you go again. Brother, have you done that before?
So I haven't done it with jujitsu. I've been trying to incorporate it into my strength training because that sometimes is the hardest part is like you get up for a fight, right? And then you have to wait 10 minutes and then you have to get back up again and then you have to wait again. And like managing those ups and downs is kind of difficult for sure.
For me, it's terrible. So if I do a round of 5 minutes, I literally get, I can't come back. So that's what I do before the competitions. We try to train, rest, and rest. Man, when I was competing in Brazil, I fought a tournament we call Summer Open, and literally translated. So the Summer Open, I took 5 hours to do 5 fights. It's like literally I fought and I had to wait 1 hour, an hour, and an hour, another hour, another hour. I was tracked.
Yeah, that's rough having that long in between because you totally cool off at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my I think it's the biggest challenge challenging in my training sessions is to go back to the track if I get out for a second. You know,
For sure.
it's so hard. It's so hard for me.
So we talked about a little bit about your diet when you were growing up. What does your diet look like now as you're again getting ready for a competition?
Well, this is interesting.
15 bangs and 17 cups of coffee. What else do you do?
Just two, man. Just two. Well, when I went to Texas, I spent a great month with Professor Dracolino and Professor Lucas Valente. Man, he was a great friend of mine. He would host me at his house for 1 month. Man, I was there. I didn't pay anything. He would let me be at his house with, it was so cool. So basically, I learned how to eat with Lucas, man, and since then I never stopped to follow him. So basically, Lucas, I don't know how his diet today. Basically, pretty much the same, but we would eat naked pasta and chicken. And when it's all cooked, we would put just a slice, slightly, I don't know, maybe a spoon of olive oil, maybe salt, chicken, and black pepper. That's it. That's basically. And for snacks, today I do, let's say, if I go into the train at 11 a.m., by 9 or 9:30, I would be eating a smoothie with banana, peanut butter, honey, almond milk, maybe almond milk. Sometimes I do. I put some creatine. That's it for the pre-workout. I do, and after I had an apple, banana, or I drink a protein shake. When I get home, of course, I eat a protein shake, and again, I put like maybe 10 eggs, naked pasta, chicken, or tuna, and I repeat this. I pretty much eat naked pasta, chicken, tuna every single day. I just change the snacks. The snacks are pretty much the same. So basically, man, I am a guy who eats the same thing for 2 years.
Well, clearly it's working, so it's okay.
It's pretty simple. It's pasta, pasta, chicken, and of course I take the minerals, vitamins. I take Central. That's all.
The old man Central, the 50 plus one. All right. So I think you mentioned you do creatine, you do a protein shake, you do some pre-workout, right? Any other supplements that you typically take?
I take BCAA and the recovery, the amino acids recovery.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is the only thing I take. Protein, creatine, BCAA. Sometimes people say they don't believe in BCAA. I just take.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it depends on your protein intake, right? If you're taking in, if you're doing 2 or 3 protein shakes a day, it's probably overkill to also do BCAAs. But you work out like a madman, and so you're probably burning. So the BCAAs probably wouldn't hurt. Again, it's figuring out what the right balance is for each person.
yeah, it takes some time, and yeah, basically just protein, creatine, and this recovery. This recovery is pretty nice, man. When you're about to rest these 8 minutes, I take this and I feel just renewing again, you know, getting buff again.
All right, so let's, again, we talked about you've been in a bunch of really big fights. Let's say, it's an hour before your next big fight. What does your routine look like to get ready for that?
So let's say my fight's at 2 p.m. I would say that at 1 p.m. I would get ready 1 p.m. because I'm really weird, man. I don't like to get ready longer time before, because I really feel that I get too tired. You know, I feel like sucked up if I try to be too focused. So 1 hour before I start watching, I watch. Have you heard about Naruto?
Naruto?
Yeah, it's a cartoon. It's a anime. It's a Japanese cartoon.
Okay.
So basically, bro, I'm telling you, that make me. It's my favorite thing to watch. So get me so bumped up. So when I watch Naruto 1 hour before, I get so bumped up and I start to warm up, listening to and watching that, just like the other computers there, and try to do jumping jacks, the Gracie Barra warm up.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I just keep it watching Naruto, and man, I get so bumped up for that. And maybe 20 minutes before the fight, I just put a music that I like, and that's it. That's all I do. I don't like to be warmed up too strong or just stretching. I like just to be do the Gracie Barra warm up, walk around. That's it. I'm ready, man.
All right.
Really simple.
What kind of music are you listening to? Like crazy Brazilian rap?
To be honest, brother, I've been listening to a lot of stuff. I used to, when I was living with Lucas in Texas, we used to listen to a lot of country music. To be honest, but I'm not even kidding. Lucas used to like that, and he likes Brazilian country music too. But what I do, have you heard? Of course you did, but it's just to make sure you know Black Eyed Peas, huh?
Yeah.
So basically, before the fight, I listened to Kendrick Lamar. I like the way they connect with his lyrics. You know, he talks about a really heavy subject, but he doesn't make that subject look cool. He make that look real and make you rethink of that. And I really enjoy that. I think the reality is not the same, but really similar to what I used to have in Brazil. And Black Eyed Peas, man, they have such a great energy. Have you heard a song? I don't know, like Amabi. It's just about getting better and do that, do this, and energy. And I felt like just happy to fight. I don't like to feel angry to fight. I like to feel happy.
All right. So you like to, so that actually, thank you. That leads us kind of to the next question I was going to ask. So, you mentioned you like to feel happy when you fight. What are some other things that you do, like with your mindset to, get ready before you're going into a big fight or big tournament?
Like I said, I really don't like to feel angry fight. I don't feel that is that feeling that I like to have in my head. I feel that makes me feel really sick, to be honest. So for me, I just want to do a big show, like uh, you don't see me doing lapel, nothing against, don't get me wrong, but I don't know how to do. And I feel that if I did, I would stall you more than fight. So that's what I like to scramble. So basically, if I'm happy, I'm more creative. And if I'm more creative, I will be more confident. And, the fight's just a beautiful fight. And doesn't matter if I win, doesn't matter if I lose, it's still going to be a beautiful fight. And that's all, to be honest, that's all matter, man. It's just a big show.
So do you go in with a game plan like, all right, I'm going to ankle pick him and then I'm going to pass his guard and I'm going to get him into an arm triangle, or I'm going to pull guard and I'm going to, get him into the X? Or do you just kind of whatever happens and you just kind of trust your skills to get you through the fight?
I used to be like that. I really used to be like that, but when I got here in America and I started fighting more tournaments with bigger names in jiu-jitsu, because all the bigger names now is moving to American because of the words, pen arms, the kumite, fight twin. So I started to have more strategy. I just got tired of losing because I didn't know how to do, like, for example, upper guard.
Yeah.
I lost the pen arms last year because by 2 points, because I had, not because I think I had 2 points, of course, but I had no idea how to start passing his guard. I was just like, what do I do here? And I literally looked to his face and now my plan is, whatever happened, I'm gonna try to pull to my best game, which is my guard. But I've been working a lot with Professor CJ, how to stand up and how to fight against people who like to beat in bolo, people like to do heel hooks, people like to do leg locks and stuff like that. So basically now, as soon as we shake hands, don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna try to pull guard. If you are fighting Ogi, I'm gonna try to be a wrestler. Try. Let's see.
All right. Perfect.
That's what I've been trying.
All right. I know that's all subject to change. It could change tomorrow, but that's the plan for right now.
That's the plan for right now. It's a metamorphosis, man. We never know what's gonna happen.
For sure. All right. So on the competition side, who are some of the guys that you want to fight? Some of the goals you have as far as medals you want to win or competitions you want to be in, those sorts of things.
All right. So as an athlete, Eric, I really want to fight. I really want to be a black belt. I'm about to be black belt this year, and I really want to get really close to them. I'm a real person, so I really think that it's not gonna happen just the first tournament. I'm gonna be beating everybody there as a black belt. I think that's not gonna happen at the first moment. I'm gonna be working at, and by the end of the next year, I really want to be maybe top 3, maybe top 1, medium weight or lightweight on the black belt. Maybe top 3 at all around the world. And in 2022, I want to be winning the worlds. 2021 basically gonna be just a project. I'm gonna use this whole year to build a better bottom for 2022. And 2022 is a mystery. I don't know if I'm gonna be a professor, if I'm gonna be just an athlete. It's just I don't know how to explain. Let's see what happens. I can't talk too much about it, but let's see.
All right, and then in 2023, ADCC, right?
If you help me, I'm gonna try, brother. I'm gonna try. Did you see IBJJF? Now we can do a heel hooks.
I did, but not for me. It's going to be a while. For you, you can do it already. So I promise I will try to catch you in them. So at least you get practice.
Brother, I'm so not scared, but I'm so kind of excited for that. I want to see how it's gonna end up.
Yeah, it gets right. It's good prep for ADCC. So we're going in the right direction.
Gonna be awesome, man. I can't wait for ADCC. I'm still concerned of heel hooks, but gonna work on that every day, man. I watch a bunch of videos. Just got the Craig Jones DVD. Gonna be studying that.
There you go. Good. So now I have to worry about you heel hooking me. Terrific. At least before I knew I could get you, but you really couldn't get me. Now I have to worry about that too. So thank you.
That's the plan. That's right. Let's try.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up, Aso. Where can people connect with you, find you, all that kind of fun stuff?
Well, people can connect to me, man, through my Instagram, which is Thiago Aso BJJ. People can connect to me through my Facebook, just my name there. And of course, welcoming here in the school. People always gonna be welcome to walk in, have a training session, 2, 3, 4, 5, doesn't matter. Just come in.
And for you Brazilians, I know that you know how to spell Thiago Aso. For the Americans, I'm going to spell it out for you just in case. So it's Thiago, right? And it's at Thiago Aso. That's your Instagram.
Yes, sir. That's all.
And the same thing for Facebook. Just search Thiago Aso, look for that face that you see over there, and that's the right guy to connect with. Awesome. Thanks so much for coming on, Aso. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, brother, thank you for having me. It is really important for me, man. Especially have a conversation with you. We always talk just about jiu-jitsu. It's so nice to have a conversation with you about everything, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be honest though. It's nice to not having you choking me as well. So I appreciate it.
No, it's not happening, guys. This guy.
Awesome. Thanks, Aso.
Thank you, brother, for having me here.